Alright, I'm at 7255 Ohio State Route 48, and we're doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. This is on septic, and so we'll be doing the line in between the house and the tank. I'm not exactly sure where the tank is. I believe it was just pumped, so I don't think it's very far away, but what we're looking for is any structural issues, any root intrusion, anything that would concern the buyer. The access point is the clean out here right underneath the meter, right next to the air conditioner. If you look this way, you will see the pool. So, sticking up pretty visible right out of the ground. And so, looks like there's already some water running through here, so we'll have to see if I need to have them turn that off or not. Sometimes, sometimes the water will keep the water level a little high if it's flowing like this, but I'm going to pull back really quick here for a second, and then I'm going to zero out the footage counter. And I can see all the water slipping by, but we are right here at the base. I'm going to zero the footage counter so you got to get a better idea of how far we are. Underwater, we will have to turn that water off and let it drain down a little bit to see how high that belly is. I do believe there's a belly right there. Usually those aren't a big issue. It's just kind of, usually it happens when they install the line and the line sinks. They're pretty common on septic lines because they're so shallow that they don't stay in place as well if there's like extra weight put on top of it after installation, because it's only maybe a foot underneath the ground, and so especially around heavier spots like and we are already at the tank, so the tank is only 20 feet away or so. So take a look again. We'll see if we can. I'm actually going to pause the video and I'm going to go in and see if we can make sure that the water is off, so we can see just how deep that that belly really is, if it's anything to worry about or not. So again, we're going to pause the video. Well, I was going to. So the water is turned off, and so we're going to go ahead and pull back, and we're going to get a better look at that belly. And if need be, I can also put a little standoff on the camera just to get a better idea of how deep that belly is. Now, it's not a problem. In fact, some of this stuff has got a pump from the lower level, and that looks like a little chunk of grease that was sitting on the side of the pipe. So all of this stuff looks wonderful. You can see everything is escaping. So right about here we got 3 to 4 feet, maybe 3 feet where we're underwater. So it's not much. I can see through the clean out. So what I'll do is I'll throw a standoff on the front of this real quick, and that way I can kind of see exactly how deep the water is, but I believe it's only about an inch deep based off of what I'm seeing, which in a 4-inch pipe and it's PVC is not an issue. Like I said, when it probably with a little bit of extra weight from the clean out here is probably why it sunk. Being right next to them setting the large AC unit, that could have been part of it too. Just when they came across it, like I said, the line is only about a foot deep, so wouldn't, it's more susceptible to the heavy weight because it is so close to the surface. So I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to and then we'll put a little standoff on there and get a better look at this. Okay, so pulling the camera out now, we're going to put the standoff on it. And then we'll be able to take a little bit better look at that. Okay. So, we have the thing attached to the front here. So we'll go in, but I think they started running some water again. They did. Okay, I think it had just gotten, this had just gotten pumped, and the house has been empty, so this is probably what this is. This is some dried up stuff that I'm pushing through here, which is good because hopefully I can just push this guy out of the way, and that might have been why there was some water sitting there, actually. Because all this looks beautiful. I think we got back to about 4 feet. So yeah, here we go. Yeah, you can see now that it's like I'm above water the whole way, and even with it flowing. It's not, it's barely covering the lens now. That's what we're looking for, just to make sure, because it was at about 4 feet back, and now we are at 3, 2, and we have a little bit of a flash there. That means it's about an inch and a half. You can see that, and that's with the water running, and so we are in pretty good shape here. It's a minor belly. It should not hold any solids or anything or cause any issues. I will mark it just because it's centered around this this clean out and in this little bed area. But you obviously don't want to set anything heavy on top of the line here. Just because it is so shallow, it could sink a little bit more, but as of right now, it's flowing open and freely. It's not a major structural issue or anything. It just sunk when it was installed, so I'm sure it's been this way since it was put in. So no major issues at all. I will mark that there is a small belly between the clean out and about 4 feet, 3 feet. It's about an inch and a half deep, and but the solids and everything are overtaking it without blocking the line. So nothing of any major concern, and I'll mark that on the I will mark it on the report. But the line is open and flowing freely, and so that'll end the inspection. 7255 Ohio State Route 48 in Springboro, Ohio.